YouTube, we may have stumbled across the first full 97 overall team in Madden 23 Ultimate Team. We're going to go position by position, go to each strategy item, each chemistry that adds boost to these players, and show you guys the full squad. Starting out on offense for the wide receiver position, there are definitely a ton of options. We've got the new Tyreek Hill, T.Y. Hilton, a Team of the Week card we picked up last week, and then an under-the-radar card because I did not want to have to spend the coins on the LTD Doug Baldwin. We picked up Legend Tim Brown, the Team of the Week version. Now on to the other skill positions at the running back spot. We actually could have gone with a couple different options, but we're just going to go with the highest overall card, Austin Eckler, I would say, the Matthew Berry Player of the Year. Keith Byers is also 97 overall, but we are actually going to use him at fullback because he's a 97 overall fullback. At tight end, there was only one player that is actually 96 overall, and they get boosted up to 97 overall. I'll show you how he gets to a 97. That is going to be Team of the Week. I think it's week 16, George Kittle. And finally, at quarterback, unlike the tight end, there are a bunch of different options you can choose from. My quarterback that I went with is Mark Burnell. The reason being, I am more of a pocket passer, so I love that Hot Route Master, Fearless, and Set Fee Lead combination for 5 AP. And then to round out the offense, and this is where we start to get the super high overalls and build that overall up, it is going to be the offensive line position. Starting at left tackle, the one playoff card we did pick up was Andrew Thomas at left guard, the new Team of the Week, although we have the playoff card art, Damian Lewis at center. We'll get into the AKA boost this center does give, but Ryan Jensen, aka right guard, Marshall Yonda at 96 overall. And then at right tackle, the statistically lowest overall card in our starting lineup at only 95 overall is going to be Jackie Slater. Now on to the defense. I'm going to start with the defensive line first. At left end, you have Sam Hubbard, Jadeveon Clowney, Javon Curse. We're going to go with the LTD Jadeveon Clowney. That was a choice I went with. At right end, there's really only one player you can choose. I do have Bruce Smith as a backup. We have the LTD 96 overall Aaron Donald. And then at defensive tackle, we've got a bunch of D tackles. In the past few weeks, we have Legend John Randall starting and DJ Reader, the new Team of the Week LTD. Although we do start and actually play the Warren Sapp due to abilities. I actually don't have the John Randall powered up, but those are your defensive alignment. At linebacker, we have a few different Legend theme team players. We've got Ray Nitschke at right outside linebacker because he does get a just general +1 overall. He is a 96 overall stock outside linebacker, chemmed up to 98. We've got Derek Johnson and Bill Romanowski as your two middle linebackers, and then Terrell Suggs, Team of the Week, at left outside linebacker. Defensive back wise, we have a few new cards, a few old cards, a little bit of a mix of both. For cornerbacks, we've got Jason Verrett, Darrelle Revis, and Champ Bailey, all chemmed up to 97 overall. Safeties, this is where we have 298 overall, two of the highest overall cards in our lineup. We've got the Thomas Davis Sr. at free safety and the new aka Jamal Adams, 98 overall at strong safety. Special teams wise, we have the two highest overall players at their respective position. That is the Scottish Hammer, 96 overall, chemmed up to 97, and then Justin Tucker, who gets that little boost from the Scottish Hammer, all the way up to 95 overall for the highest overall kicker in the game. Before we actually get into the strategy item boost, I first want to go into the chemistries as well as the AKA motivator boosts first because they're a little bit unique. So starting out with chemistries, we don't actually have Legend 40 out of 40, but rather 35 out of 40. And the one thing is at 35 out of 40 with the other combination of strat cards and motivator boost, Bill Romanowski does get up to 97 overall. If that was 34, he would only be a 96. That is the main chemistry. The other small little AKA / strategy item boost, we do actually have the Colts chemistry or the Colts strategy item card, which gets the chemistry up to, I believe, 6 out of 10, plus the Colts special strategy item boost. That is actually going to get T.Y. Hilton from 96 overall to 97 overall. And then the other motivator boosts, which are not little by any means, you have the Gronk Hype Man motivator, which is going to get boost to every single player on the entire team. Small little like random boosts that wise, but they are going to get the overall up. And then of course we have the Scottish Hammer, which is going to give boost to middle linebackers, kickers, and punters. And then Red Tornado, which is the Ryan Jensen boost, which is going to give speed and some pass and run blocking stats to only offensive linemen that are actually guards. Finally, getting into the strategy items we are using. We are using two Season 3 strategy items. I'm going to start with the offense. and this is what I talked about being my offensive line, the higher rating that carries the overall on the offensive side of football. It is going to be pave the way for the offensive lineman. And actually, there's one other offensive line strategy item that I was using, but the reason I went with pave the way, it actually does get Marshall Yanda from a 98 overall to a 99 overall in comparison to the other offensive line strategy item boost. And then defensively, we went with the hybrid strategy item. This gives boost to all middle linebackers, free safeties, and strong safeties. And since I use 3 middle linebackers, also Ray Nitschke at outside linebacker, that's why he's able to get to 98 overall, and that's why you see my 2 strong safeties at 98 overall. That's all for the overalls. Quickly, I also do want to run through the abilities I am sort of running on this team, because this is the team I actually am going to be running. I've sort of molded it into some sort of comp team. Of course, I already mentioned Mark Brunell, Hot Route Master, Set Feet Lead, and Fearless for 5 AP. On my running backs, I just have a bunch of 0 AP abilities, although hidden, and you won't actually see him in the starting lineup, but at the third down back, I do have the quad father, A.J. Dillon. He is going to be our starting running back. And then at the receiver positions, Tim Brown is not actually going to play. T.Y. Hilton and Tyreek Hill both have the short out elite for 0 AP. T.Y. also has short in elite for 1 AP. Tyreek Hill route mission for 1 AP. But we have CeeDee Lamb hidden at the slot receiver position for a 0 AP short in elite. We also have short in elite on the tight end, George Kittle, for 0 AP. And then moving on to the offensive line, ability-wise, we are rocking 4 secure protectors at all the positions but right guard. We also have some 0 AP abilities like Identifier, and then on Marshall Yanda, I've got 0 AP Polar Elite, as well as 0 AP Nasty Streak. That's offensively. Moving over to the defense, it is a little bit more complicated because there are more 0 AP abilities, but I'm just going to get into, I do run the dollar or the 3-2 scheme, so I'm going to be running only 3 down linemen and then 8 defensive backs on the field. My 2 users in this team are actually Ted Hendricks and Jamal Adams. I'm trying out the Avalanche X Factor on Jamal Adams to try to force some fumbles and counter that AKA A.J. Dillon. And then defensive back wise, I have a lot of deep out zone KOs or deep out zone KOs and pick artists for 0 AP. You'll see that on the likes of Thomas Davis, Julius Peppers, and then actually Richard Sherman and Champ Bailey play my 2 outside corners. My slot corners, which blitz a lot, are just going to be Jason Verrett and Jarrell Revis. Defensive line wise, I only use 2 players with abilities, or actually 3. I do have Bruce Smith with a few 0 AP abilities, but Warren Sapp at the defensive tackle spot is going to be having double or nothing as well as inside stuff. And then my main pass rusher is going to be T Sizzle, Terrell Suggs, with double or nothing and under pressure. But that is going to be all for the first 97 overall team in MUT. Don't ask me how much it costs. I spent a lot of coins tinkering with the strategy items as well as different players and chemistries to get a full 97 overall team. If you guys actually want to see some gameplay on this team, I have a backup channel that already has a gameplay posted, so you guys can see all the players on this team but Andrew Thomas, so make sure you guys go check that out.